Good morning all. Today we are going to discuss about the topic counseling. First we move on to the counseling definition. According to NCDA board 2010, counseling is a professional relationship that empowers diverse individuals, families and groups to accomplish mental health, wellness, education and career goals. According to NCDA, counseling is a professional relationship that is used to empowers different types of individuals, families and groups for the accomplishment of their mental health, wellness, education and career goals. Next, we move on to the next definition. Carl Rogers in 1961. It is a helping relationship in which at least one of the parties has the intent of promoting the growth, development, maturity, empowered functioning and improved coping with the life of the other. Here we are discuss about the next definition which is implemented by C. Rogers in 1961. And next definition is American Counseling Association 1997. The application of mental health, psychological or human development principles through cognitive, affective, behavioral or systematic intervention strategies that address wellness, personal growth or career development as well as pathology. Here also discuss about it is a helping process and it positively approach one's own mental health, psychological and human development. And the counseling is a process. And first we discuss counseling is a process. Next, the meaning of counseling is the provision of professional assistance and guidance in resolving personal and psychological problems. Counseling is a give assistance to someone else to resolve their personal and psychological problems. Counseling usually involve work with individuals, groups, who are considered functioning as well as those who having serious problem. And counseling is concerned with the individual who are facing several serious problems. And it is a collaborative relationship where the aim is to help a client achieve their goals. The first and foremost aim of the counseling is achieve or help a client to achieve their goals. The counselor is seen as an expert in helping process, whereas the client is an expert on his or her own life. Here, counselor is an expert who give the assistance to the client or the person who come to the counseling, and the client is an expert in his or her own life. Approach is to facilitate choices and change through resolving developmental and situational problems. It also help to facilitate choices and changes through the developmental and situational problems. And the counseling is a scientific process of assistance extended by an expert in an individual situation, a needy person, and it involve relationship between two person in which one is called counselor, that is attempt to assist the another, that is counselee or the client, in so organizing himself has attained a particular form of happiness and adjusting to a life situation or in a short self-actualization. It also provides some kind of assistance to the individual, and the process which is taken by counselor and it is given to the counselee, that is a patient or a client. And we move on to the purpose of counseling, that is first one is identify problem of a person. First and prime purpose of a counseling is that identify the problem of a person. The counselor have to identify the problem of a person and help the person to resolve that, and help people use their existing problem solving skills more effectively. Each and everyone have their own skill to solve their problems, and the counselor help the people to or assist the people client to problem solving skill more effectively. Develop newer better coping skills. Coping skills is also a better specific portion in the client's life and a common man, and it also develop new or better coping skills, provide an opportunity for the person to describe their feelings and problems. One there it give a chance or opportunity to the patient or client to describe their feelings or emotion to the one another, that is counselor. Help to each help to reach decision and action. Someone is very difficult to take any action or any decision in their life, and that particular situation, counselor help that client to take right decision and right action. Help to build skills they can use in solving their own problems. As I already told, there are so many skills and abilities in a person, and the counseling build skills they can use in solving their own problems, and it enhance the client to solving their own problems through the skills they have. And next one is the qualities of effective counselors. First one, genuineness. Genuineness is the one important characteristics or a quality or a skill of a personal or a counselor. That is, the next one is listening. In this contemporary world, everyone is busy with their life. No one are ready to listen to anyone else. Or another one who is in a needy situation, and counselor should be a good listener, and unconditional positive regard is the next quality of a effective counselor. Counselor should give a positive regard to the counselee for the betterment of his or her own life. Believing in the client. The next one is believing in the client, and the counselor give priority to the counselee for the betterment of their life. And patience. In the counseling process, there are some negative emotions or negative attitude from the side of counselee, and the counselor should be patient at that time and should not be rigid at that particular situation. And the next one is don't block free expression of feeling, and that is described. Everyone have their own freedom and freedom of expression, that shouldn't block to this process. And non-judgmental attitude. The second last one is non-judgmental attitude. And if we shouldn't consider or take that person in pre-judgmental attitude. And knowledgeable. Counselor should be knowledgeable about the counseling process and all. There are different types of counseling. That is, first one is family counseling, second one is grief counseling, third one is marriage, group counseling, relationship counseling, teen counseling, mental health counseling, and substance abuse counseling. First one is family counseling. Family is a family unit have different group pathologies pathologies than individuals, which require different types of counseling. In family is one of the important social institution, and so many people and each and everyone learn their primary study from their family, and family unit have different group pathologies than individual, which requires different kinds of counseling. A family counselor trained in type of negative family dynamic that can affect each individual family members. Family dynamics or negative family dynamics can affect each individual in a negative way. The counselor can teach family members how to work, live, and love together in more positive way. And the counselor can teach or guide the family members to live in a peaceful way or in a positive way. And the next one is grief counseling. The loss is extremely difficult to or difficult for almost everyone, especially loss of parents, spouse, or children. The loss is means it is very difficult to face that kind of situation. In that particular situation, counselor has a great role, and the grief counseling is help the patient or the counselor to come out from that very sad situation because of the loss of their dear ones. In an increasingly more isolated society, many people grow up without the coping mechanisms to grieve effectively, and the grief counselor can help an individual work through the difficult situation. The grief counselor or that kind of counselor help the people to come out or deal with that difficult situation. Next one is marriage counseling. It is natural for conflict to occur in a healthy marriage. However, when the two spouses have never learned effective ways of resolving these conflicts, the marriage can be in a danger. In a marriage process, there is a chance to come difficulties or conflict between the parties or the spouse, and if that is go in a negative way, there is a chance to marriage relationship in a dangerous situation. Marriage counseling help the couples explore the ways in which they get stuck in their conflict and how to break out of the negative cycle. Marriage counseling gives the priority to break out from the negative impact or negative effect of conflict, and also help them to come out from the conflict or negative cycle. Group counseling. Next one is next important type of counseling is that group counseling. In group counseling, a single therapist work with the multiple patients in order to help them to resolve troubling issues. In a group counseling, it deals with the patient, and it is not only one person. There are multiple patients are there, and it give help to that particular group to resolve their own problems. Group counseling can be effective for the people who are not comfortable in a one-on-one setting, who have social anxiety disorders, or who do not find it financially feasible to pursue individual counseling. Group counseling may given to the people who are in a needy situation. Two types are there, who are not interested or not comfortable with individual session, or they have the problem of anxiety or any other kind of mental issues. That kind of people may come to the group counseling for the better life. Next one is relationship counseling. Marriage is not the only type of relationship that may require healing. Boyfriends and girlfriends, brothers and sisters, and even business partners may need help developing coping methods that will enable them to interact effectively. There are different kinds of relationship around us. We have the relationship with our families and friends and our peer groups, our workplace, and so on. In these kind of relationship, there are some kind of problems are affected, and it is negatively affect the relationship between others. And the group relationship counseling is help to manage these kind of problems in the relationship process. Relationship counselor can provide this assistance. Relationship counselors help the people or the help the counselor to keep a positive relationship or healthy environment around them. Next one is teen counseling. Teenagers are in different stage of development than their parents, and hence need a different style of counseling. In this contemporary world, there are a lot of changes than the past, and these teenagers need more help than in the past, and that teenage counseling give priority to those who are in a very needy situation, and it about the sexuality, dealing with the temptations of drugs and alcohol, and relating to their parents. There is dealing with relationship problems with others, friends, peer group, and other kind of negative behaviors around us. Next one is individual counseling. Individual counseling is direct, active, and personal approach that focus on increasing individual self-awareness, understanding, and adjustment. Individual counseling mainly focus on awareness, self-awareness, understanding, and adjustment with the particular situation, and it can help to identify the most effective way for personally achieve desired goal for stage in life, as well as provide with the tool to cope with the difficult circumstances that may arise along the way. In individual counseling, the counselor help the individual to cope, individual help the individual to help to cope with the difficult circumstances around them. Next one is mental health counseling. There are many reasons why an individual may need mental health counseling. He or she may have the chemical imbalance that is making it difficult to function, which can be aids through the drugs, but may also require some form of talk therapy. In mental health counseling, there is a chance to talk therapy which assists individual to remove a chemical imbalance or make in a difficult situation. He or she may have deep seated family issues which are pervading adult life. In a family life, mental health is one important for the adult life, and family issues may negatively affect the children also. There may be unresolved trauma that is plaguing an individual. Unresolved trauma is the one another important problem that is faced by an individual, and it is negatively affect the mental health of a person. In nearly any case where psychological issues is making daily functioning of a problem, mental health counseling can help. Next one is substance abuse counseling. People who are in a grip of an alcohol or drug addiction need a special type of counseling. This counseling is particularly focused on who are addicted to drug or the alcohol. Substance abuse counseling use the professional who are trained in understanding the working and pathology of addiction and helping patients learn how to manage their addiction. In substance abuse counseling, the counselor help to the counselee to deal with the addiction situation and come out from the addiction. The next one is element of counseling. There are three important elements, that is counselor, counselee, and counseling environment. Counselor is the person who professionally capable to giving help to the people who are in a needy situation, and the counselee is the person who need help of others to deal with their personal and psychological problems. And the counseling setting is a place to facilitate counseling, that may be a school, family, or something like that. And the next one is stages of counseling. First one is rapport building. Second one is assessment and analysis of the problem, provision of ongoing supportive counseling, goal setting, counseling intervention, termination, and follow-up. First and foremost stage of counseling is rapport building. Rapport building means it create a positive relationship between two parties. And next one is assessment and analysis of problem. The positive relationship or first rapport building is in a effective way that help to assessment and analysis of problem. And the third one is provision of ongoing supportive counseling. And the next one is goal setting. Through the help of the counseling, it will help to goal setting in a proper way. And the next one is counseling intervention. Through this counseling process, counselor gives some kind of intervention to the counselee to cope with that situation that is faced by and around the counseling. Next one is termination, and that is the end stage of counseling. And the follow-up means it to give some follow-up process and follow-up activities for the counseling. Benefit, there are different kinds of benefit for the counseling. First one is help the person being counseled to understand himself. First important benefit of the counseling is that understand himself, or counseling help them to understand themselves, allow the individual to help himself, and the assist in understanding the situation more objectively, facilitate to look at the situation with a new perspective, develop positive outlook, motivate to search or alternative solution to their problems. There are different problems that is faced by a client, and the counselor or in a counseling process, it to motivate, search for alternative solution to solve their own problem, feel better about themselves, or feel good for the counseling in this counseling process, feel more peace at ease in a daily activities, feel more comfortable and secure in the world, feel more successful and more joyful in a more or regular basis, feel more connected to others. It also, the counseling process also help the counselee to connected or connected to others. It also enhance their relationship at home, in the peer group or other workplace also, reduce stress at home, workplace or in a relationship, help with the personal health by reducing emotional worries and stresses, work through the problem with a skilled and compassionate professional counselor. And this is the end of the section. Thank you. Thank you.